Morning, everyone. I'm Chief Eric Gandy of the Clearwater Police Department. We're out here this morning to brief you guys on a missing persons call. It originated last night at 8:20 p.m. when a concerned relative contacted us from Mulberry, Florida, indicating that 4 relatives had departed Clearwater out on a fishing trip to go approximately 10 to 25 miles out, and they had not returned at the expected time. Officers came down to Seminole Docks, where we located the pickup truck and trailer, and at that point we initiated the overdue boater missing persons report. And we pulled in detectives, and they were able to determine that at 9:30 yesterday morning the vessel departed Seminole Docks. We have video feeds of that departure. This vessel has no means of communication other than cell phones, so there wasn't a VHF on board, and according to relatives, no ability to contact satellite communications or anything of that nature. So the Coast Guard and Clearwater PD tried to ping the cell phones, and the last ping we had them pinging off a cell tower approximately near Palm Harbor. That's consistent with what the family told us, is that they would travel to the northwest on these fishing trips, but provided no specific location. Coast Guard was engaged and did an initial helicopter search last night with negative results, and deployed a fixed-wing aircraft first thing this morning, and they're searching as we speak. Clearwater PD is the investigative agency here because the missing boaters departed from our jurisdiction. So while we aren't doing the heavy lifting in terms of searching, we're trying to gather as much information as we can from the relatives and friends, and that's why I'm here before you this morning, specifically to give you and the boating public more information on this missing vessel. It is a 25-foot glacier bay. It's white, predominantly white with a green stripe. It has twin engines and twin hulls, so it's a power catamaran. The people on board are Clarence Woods, age 90, Dennis Woods, age 70, Chris Harding Sr., age 42, and Chris Harding Jr., age 18. So we're asking anyone that's out boating today, certainly keep a lookout for that vessel. We are staying in communication with the family members, and our thoughts are with them at this stressful time. So it's been over 24 hours, and I'm sure they're exceptionally concerned, and we will continue to work with them and with our counterparts of the Coast Guard and FWC as more information develops. I'd be glad to answer a couple basic questions if you have them.
Do you have any reason to believe that they got into some dire situation out there at this point, apart from maybe just the boat breaking down, anything of that nature?
We're unsure. We had initial reports from the family that they had some mechanical problems with this boat previously. And the challenge becomes cell phones stop working about 10 to 12 miles offshore. So if they don't have a VHF radio with which to communicate, or they don't have any kind of satellite communication capability, either an EPIRB or some other communication devices, they could just be broken down out of cell phone range. At this point, we just don't know. We're hoping that with daybreak, the Coast Guard can quickly locate them.
Now, you said there's no communication devices on the boat, but is there any GPS device that should have been working?
Well, no. I mean, you're not required to have any of that. And GPS will just tell you your location. What you really need is a satellite communication device. Or an EPIRB, which sends a signal via satellite. Because once you're outside of cell phone range, there's no ability to communicate unless you have a VHF radio, which, give or take 30 miles is about the range on that. But the benefit is you can communicate with other boaters who can relay that information.
When is the last time that you got a phone ping off that tower in Palm Harbor? And do you think that this could have anything to do with how foggy it was yesterday?
Unsure. I mean, I think it was in the morning is when the effective ping was, and it potentially could have been at a point in time when they actually went out of cell phone range or put their cell phones on airplane mode to save battery. We just don't know.
Moving forward today, you could see hindering the search efforts? Do those search efforts go on until dark tonight?
I can't speak for the Coast Guard and their protocols, but what I'll tell you is we're here until we find these folks. So Clearwater PD will be engaged until we have a resolution to this case.
And just kind of referring to the press release, have this word in, it said that they normally return back around 4:30.
Correct.
They are from Polk County, but they left from here. Is it, okay to, I guess, assume that they would know this area and the water pretty well?
The family members told us they're experienced boaters, so I suspect so. They had a general idea of where they like to go when they left Clearwater, so I suspect that they have some familiarity here. Again, if they're within cell phone range, and we believe there's 3 cell phones on board, if they're within cell phone range somewhere, even if they're stuck on a sandbar out here, they would have contacted us. So we believe they're out of cell phone range.
Did they ever contact the family during the time that they were even out on the water at all, or were they just, out boating, fishing, and the family would just wait for them to get back? Was there ever any indication?
No, we don't have any of those indications. And thank you for your questions. We'll update you through Rob as we find out more. Thanks.